Did you listen to the video?
No, Ron.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. And we've taken the roll call. We have everybody here except for Andy Farrell and Jeannie. So we need to approve the agenda. We have a modification we need to make on it, which will be on unfinished business. We're gonna make that approval of revision of the procedure rules.
The amendment to the procedure rules.
Yeah, and the amendment of the procedure rules.
Okay, we'll do that
And
under
we'll do that
unfinished
on,
business.
yeah,
Okay.
and online, we'll do A, B, and C on that, so that'll be one C, okay?
With that addition, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion been made by Tim and seconded by Joe Mike. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Motion approved. We have no public comments because there's no one here. And we need to approve the minutes of the last meeting on June the 17th.
I wasn't here. I'll let y'all.
I'm gonna make the motion that we
Okay.
approve them. I've read over them.
Yeah.
I have a hard copy of it, and I've had it since she printed it, put
I'll
it
second.
out. Motion made and seconded. Motion made by Terry and seconded by Joe Mike. Oh, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. That don't look very good, but that's
Do we need to
close
put our, whoever does that as chairman, we need to put our initials on that, or what do we do? You know,
I don't think so.
sometimes-
He's gonna sign it though, I think.
Okay.
That is done.
Okay.
Okay, unfinished business. I know we have the ad hoc pay and benefits committee recommendations that we've been given, and I still want to go over some more of that. If we don't want to talk about it tonight, we can wait until the next meeting. And we'll go ahead and do that when we have a full body here, if that's.
But we're
that's all right with y'all.
supposed to be coming up with a procedure for that,
I'm assuming that's what we're supposed to be doing with
Okay.
it now.
because we've
Since they
got
sent it to us.
longevity pay approved
We did,
last meeting.
well, we sent the longevity approved to the full commission, and it's, I think it's on their, no, we
Budget and
sent it to
Finance.
Budget and
Yeah, with
Finance.
Budget and
They have
Finance.
gotta deal with it now,
Right.
which, they'll probably address it on Thursday.
So that will be like a bonus paid in November.
That's correct.
Okay, that's good. At least we're recognizing people who've stayed with us.
Exactly. And the numbers that I've seen, it will work.
Mhm.
So
Good.
everything, I think it's gonna be a good thing for the county.
So we got sustained income. We're not just using savings to make it
No,
happen.
no,
We have
we
sustained
have enough
income
money
to make that
sustain it.
happen.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's
okay.
not coming out of fund balance.
No.
Good. Okay.
Okay, review and discuss legislative governmental relationship between committee, policy and filing for vacancy of position of the pro tem chair. We're gonna discuss that tonight, right?
Okay. I would like to, I mean,
Yep, that's one of the things we need to get discussing about. So, I know that how we've got it set up right now, we were gonna discuss this about, whoever took that position, I believe is what we were talking about on if they were able to. in
leave
the-
their job,
In
yeah.
the event of a catastrophic happening again, where the mayor is totally out, whether or not the pro tem was able to take that position. Because I feel like, now I know this has been relayed to me, and I'm gonna pass what I feel like, but we can go from there. You know, they need to be able, whoever takes that position need to know that they need to be able to, vacate their existing job if they're working and take on that position as mayor whether it be temporary until whatever that happens, because it's a full-time job.
Yes, it
It's
is.
full-time.
And-
What about people that could take a leave of absence from their job?
Well,
and do
I
that?
think that could be addressed, but you're talking about a leave of absence for how long, you know, because it could last up to a year. Or even two. I mean, this one right now is gonna be a 2-year position, so.
I
or
can't
2.5.
get a leave like that. My school
I
system.
I can get a leave any day, but yeah, there's people that cannot do that. But that's one of the reasons why I think we need to have something put down and everybody agree to it in the full commission, that if they, you know, take that position, that they need to know that they're gonna have to be willing to vacate their, or they'll have to pass it and pass it down to somebody else.
So we'll be passing it back, like back and forth, like one from the rural and one from Manchester and one from Tullahoma. You guys used to do that, right?
That,
Yeah, we
that
did,
part's
yeah.
still being,
Yeah.
we are still doing that part right now. Because I think Laura was up for the position, and she's doing, you know.
I
she's
think
doing
it
a
really
good job.
needs to come down is, are you willing to give up your job to do this? Because I don't see somebody being, unless you have a huge car wreck, to be incapacitated for 2 or 3 weeks for somebody to have to step in. I think it would be either the untimely death, departure of somebody, or sickness, stroke, or something like that, where somebody would have to step in for the rest of the term. And just by chance, we had a gentleman who was able to step in. I wouldn't have been able to. I mean, if I had been, I mean, it had been passed back and forth. It had been rotated around all 3 entities for as long as I've been here. I know I've been here twice now. It wouldn't have worked for Tim. And then we, you know, and they needed somebody that day at that hour to be called upon. And I think some of that criteria needs to be put in there, that if you can or are unwilling to do that, if your job's that important to you, say you're a young person, you're not going to be willing to get, I would not want to be willing to give my job up to come in and take over 2 years of mayor, not knowing that I have to run again and you get put out and I never get to go back to my job.
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, you would.
It's
be
a tough
given
decision.
and it's something that somebody would have to make a decision on themselves. But I also think that you can't leave the county in limbo,
Right. Yeah.
because if he had not been in that position, then what would you have done? Who then it becomes almost an election of the people of the county commission, of the 19 of us.
Exactly.
Then you get to pick the mayor, to where here it's already done. You've picked and it's solidified, and hope that it never has to be used again.
Exactly.
But I never in my life dreamed
That would happen.
that it would ever happen, and now it has, and it's shown how important that position is. So I think that there needs to be some things in there that, you know, am I willing to give up my job to move in here to take over
We had
for
a,
the county?
didn't we have a list of what did we do with that list?
Is it-
I may still have it.
Of what we were requiring?
It would have been in that packet that was sent back down here from our committee.
It's not in this.
Here it is.
And some of those might be able to be knocked off, but, you know,
Is this one we discussed already?
Yes, that's what we forwarded
To,
as the recommendations.
this is what we forwarded to legislative committee? What did they send back to us? Do you know what you sent back to us? You have
They
a-
just sent it back to say to reconsider it. Was there not an attached document behind it?
No, because it was all written in the discussion there, part of what.
Is it right here?
What was, yes,
I don't remember exactly.
of the qualifications.
But one of the things was talked about was like, does everybody understand what the requirements for the mayor are right now? So if you took the vice chair and you knew you were gonna have to be mayor, that would be a consideration for somebody to take that, correct?
Here's what we did, here's what we discussed. Due to the untimely death of Coffee County Mayor, following qualifications must be met in order to be nominated from the county legislative body. To fill the position of pro tem, the individual must have served 4-year term as a Coffee County Commissioner and have been member of 2 standing committees during their term. In the event of a vacancy of the office of the Coffee County Mayor, immediate availability is required of the individual, which, right, that's what we had. Individual must be willing to resign from their current employment, given the employer a 2-week notice. The individual selected could be appointed or reelected for multiple years by the county legislative body. This policy is to be added to the Coffee County Government Legislative Body's policy and procedure. That's what we discussed.
Do we have a member now of the commission that could do that?
Laura.
Yeah.
Laura would give up her other position to do that? Her full-time position?
And the thing that I think I was the one who put the thing in that you should be should have served one term.
One term,
because
which is 4 years.
you understand how, I think when you come in new, and I did come in new, I came in new and did not understand the budget process. And if you're going to be over the whole budget process, you need to have a little bit of knowledge of how everything works. And I think that the 4 years would give you that. And then you would know, hey, do I want to do this or not?
Yeah.
Do I want to sign up for this? Because I've seen what everybody's gone through the past 4 years, and that gives you, it gives you knowledge of the budget process, gives you time to think about, do I want to do this or not? Do I want to give up my job to do that? And so I think that's one of that top one was probably mine.
What I think this is gonna, I think this will force everybody to do in there, think about it whenever they sit there and say, oh yeah, I'll take pro tem. Because
It's not just taking it. I'm signing up for something now.
you're signing up for something that could happen. I mean, there's always gonna, there, in any kind of situation, there's always a way out of it.
Yes.
And that would be saying, if they were there, and they decide they can't, it would have to go back in front of the legislative
Yeah.
body. The full
And that
commission.
would really become a ruckus, though, because if this had happened this time around, they needed that mayor within
That day.
5 hours.
Uh-huh.
He was sworn in
Yep.
and was already acting mayor and signing stuff. I mean, if it happened on the day payroll rolls,
Then you're in trouble.
everybody here doesn't get a
Everybody's
check.
gonna go,
What do I do?
yeah.
Because
Could
it's shut
someone
down.
not just step in temporarily to keep that going until someone was secured for that?
Well, your pro tem chair could temporarily,
So
but
they're temporarily
I
until,
just don't like it that you don't have somebody as a legacy person that, because you can look today how politics works. If it were to happen and every commissioner here had to vote from somebody, it's gonna be jockeying. Somebody's gonna want it. And then they're gonna try to get their buddies or their friends to vote for them. Where here it would be settled out
I rolled that all the way over to your feet.
before if it was ever needed. And it may never be needed for the next 100 years.
I know it.
But in my mind, I'd have never dreamed in my wildest dreams that
That
ever
would
happened in
happen,
1,000 years.
Yeah.
So,
what if we had everybody voted brand new, voted in, everybody was a newly elected? I mean, there's been counties,
We had a lot that was new this time.
but I mean,
well, and then
if the
there's been people who
total,
have come back on. I don't think that you'll see a total wipeout of everybody because
but it's happened in the state of
Oh,
Tennessee,
yes,
in large,
I'm sure it
in
has.
in larger counties than we have,
I'm sure it
where
has.
the whole commission was reelected. I mean, not reelected, but newly elected.
I just think that budget process is very important because somebody that has not had the experience walking into Mariana's office can stumble with, it would take more of her time to take that person through the process every day. Just like the school budget. You got 3 funding bodies for the school budget, the federal, the state, and the local. And if you know, you can't swap that money around. And if you don't know that and you think, hey, over here, she's not letting me move this money, but legally she can't, then you're at odds for a day. And you've wasted a day there. And I'm sure there's federal money in the big business. So, but
What I'm asking is that you're gonna have a temporary person anyway that has to fill in immediately. But just like, because we had an election, I mean, there's other things to get that replacement of the chairman and the mayor. There's always things already there, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah, there is, but to make that pro tem, but if that person can't do, just say it was me, I would have had to said, no, I can't do it. Because it would mess up my,
And with this, I have to say no.
Yeah.
Just because of the guidelines.
yeah.
You
I don't
understand what
think
I'm
that they're too strict. I think it
Even
just
though I could do
narrows-
it,
well,
even though I could do it, I would have to say no because I'm not a full term yet. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, but what
And
I'm
we have a
saying is
bunch
that
of them
we
that are
got,
not full term, and
Right.
I understand that.
yeah, but there are counties where the total commission is, I just don't want us to box ourselves in. I think we could navigate this with what we've got, because the people will understand what it takes to do the mayor. And so, okay, you're gonna be the vice mayor and something happens to him, you're gonna have to step in. You know, they're gonna know that already.
You can take the 4-year thing out and just leave it that, you know, you're gonna have to give up your job within a 2-week period.
Well, yeah, they'll have to
Good.
acknowledge in some way to them that,
Yeah.
I think that, because that's a huge limiting factor for me.
and then if they have a leave of absence.
Yeah, we
for-
could take that out. I mean, because that would open up the room for anybody in there that could be, that would want to take it, if they wanted to take it. And then they got to say yes or no. And they got to do, we'd have to have a special call meeting, like, fast.
Oh, yeah, that night, wait in there, and you can't
It
do
would be a
it.
call
You can't, it's
even
got to be
under
7 days,
emergency,
it's
yeah.
got to be a 7-day notice.
So this county would have been
Doesn't it?
hanging.
It has to be 7 day
Well,
notice.
your pro tem steps in anyway. It could step in for, a week or
For
two.
7 day, yeah.
Just to get it done, so. But that gives us time to get together to go on with the other.
Let's take out that line then. The individual must serve for you.
And I think just leaving the thing in there
Full term.
about being able to remove from your job in 2 weeks just makes everybody think.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a teetotal, hey, I'm gonna leave. But it makes you think about the commitment that you are
Yeah.
making.
My question is why wasn't that considered before? Because we just didn't
It
think
never
it was
been
gonna
used.
happen?
Whoever would have thought that a young man,
We've never had that happen
Mm-hmm.
before.
We have not had that happen before.
I can't tell you a county that I can think of that has happened. Can you? Metro, I can't think of anywhere we've had that happen. And I'm sure some other counties are looking at it because we're looking at it.
Well, I've been told that they're looking at, see what we do.
And I don't think it needs to be so strict that you
It
keep
don't-
people
yeah,
out.
I
I
know
just
that.
think that everybody needs to be aware of what you're signing up for.
I think if we
Because
take
it used to
out that-
be just a badge of honor, I'm mayor pro tem, and then all of a sudden, I have to step in and go to work.
Yeah.
And
Is there
he's-
something we could do like that?
He's had the background of budget and finance. He's had the background of capital outlay. He knows how to work with Rennie and rural solid waste. So he's had huge experiences.
Oh, yeah.
In how this county operates, and that's why it's sort of been moved through and done pretty well. I'm good to strike that out about the 4 years.
Okay. What about, we need to have keep them know where they've been a member of 2 standing committees?
Well, you would be part of 2 committees if you're
Should
on this
be.
commission. You should be, yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to take that out too?
Well, they will already have that
Can you
experience.
look at that and tell me if you want to take that out?
I mean, you would already be, if you're a new commissioner, you're gonna be assigned to 2 committees.
Not necessarily.
And you learn in a hurry.
Well, you could take that out too. I mean, my big thing is, I'm gonna be, from now on,
Not necessarily.
oh, you're on 3 or 4 of them. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. And I hope everybody looks at it as,
But not no more.
yeah, you got more
That
than
got
that now.
changed.
Can this person do it, understand the budget, and pull the people together? Because you're a leader too, and you have to be able to work with everybody, give and take, and that's what this all is all about. It's not ramrodding stuff through. It is compromise, and to be able to compromise with people is not a sign of weakness. To me, it's a sign of knowledge.
Yep.
You may get what you want this time, and you may not. But if it's for the betterment of the people of the county, then so forth. That's what needs to be done. and taking care and covering the county now, because this is like an insurance policy to me.
Yep.
We're making sure that if something happens, continuity of government moves forward, and it did sort of flawlessly this time by our chinny chin chin.
Yep.
Because if it had been me, they wouldn't have found me that day. Well, I was at work. I couldn't leave. I had to drive. Those kids are more important, than that time. I didn't know all this was going down. I knew something had happened, but didn't know, that. So I think the continuity of government is pretty important.
But a person could serve in an interim position without having to give up their other, if it was just temporary.
Yes,
Because
yes.
we have all the
But
election
I
guidelines.
think you
of how to
also,
do that,
I think
or
you also
we
need to
could
be,
appoint.
I just don't see it being temporary, like I said, unless it's, a car wreck or because if you have a stroke or disabled or something like that, more likely you're going to be stepping down.
But that's what I'm saying. The pro tem can step in on a very short basis.
Yeah, and that's what
Be
it's,
there,
it's set
and
there.
temporarily.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what
we're gonna be either through election or through direct appointment by the CLB, we're gonna be reappointing, right?
See, I hate for the county commission to appoint a mayor because I think then it becomes too much political.
Whenever we do a pro tem, we already are electing
Yeah,
a
a mayor,
temporary
yeah.
mayor.
That to me is this is my insurance policy. This
That's
is who
what
I
this
pick,
is
yeah.
about.
This is my, who I want to cover me just in case something happens. And that way there is not a lot of politicking going on. And not a lot of hurt feelings, because I can see people getting hurt feelings if you had to elect a mayor under the county commission.
I mean, right now, if something, God forbid, if something happened to Dennis, Laura steps in. That's the way it is.
And she would retire from the police department. And move into mayor.
And she kinda already knows that.
That's the only thing I'd like to see, is the person who's there knows that.
The situation is more serious
Yeah.
than what they think it is.
Yeah, it is, because if something were to happen, I have to move in and take over, because Coffee County can't stumble anymore.
You can't stumble a week
No,
or two.
no,
You just can't do it. Not with our payroll.
because all
everything
kinds of
goes
crazy stuff could happen. Payroll, sheriff's department, health department, things that are going on with the state of Tennessee, federal grants. So, well, I'm good with taking the thing out about the 4 years. And I'm even good with the standing committee. I think that maybe, that when we do elect a pro tem, that somebody needs to make a speech is, you're electing somebody who would replace the mayor. Can you do this?
So what do you do when you've no one is available to do that?
You go to the next, since we're rotating from Tullahoma, Manchester, Coffee County, you go to the next one.
Yeah.
If
mean,
nobody in
Manchester-
there,
So I'm asking as a commission,
that's why you do it though. You're
If
asking
Manchester has nobody
where,
step
where
forward,
did
then
these
it rolls.
caucuses, thing like this come from? I mean, is this something that's in CTASC or Tennessee Code Annotated or something?
No,
Or is
this
this
is what
just
we just-
something that was
That's just
kinda
what we've
put
done,
together?
and that's just what they've done in this. all
Is
this-
it an
in the
official
past.
policy and the procedures?
I can't answer that one. I don't think so. Is it?
I'm just trying to understand where it came from.
I think it's just been a rotation thing, and it's been passed down from generation to generation, and it goes from Manchester to,
Gentlemen's agreement
yeah.
is what they call it.
Yep. So,
So Laura came from the
Rule.
rural, so
Yep.
Dennis was rural and then
Yeah.
went to Laura rural?
yeah, still, cause she's got 2-year term to do. Or
This year,
finish
finishing
this
up
year.
Dennis's term, yeah.
Dennis's term.
Yeah.
So then
So
it goes
she
to
was-
whoever, it either goes Tullahoma, whichever's
Yeah,
next.
they'd have to find out
Be
how it
Tullahoma or
rotates.
Manchester, I forgot which one it is. And you have 4 in that group, right?
In Manchester you do, and if they all 4 say, I can't do it, then it rotates
Then it
again.
rotates over to the next
Yeah.
bunch. Tullahoma.
So we're still gonna keep the rotation?
I don't see
instead
why
of
you don't.
Pulling
ain't
Mayor
gonna
Pro
hurt
Tem
nothing.
from at-large? Cause see, we talked about doing that, drawing from the whole CLB instead of just,
Well, and if it rotates and like me, even after I retire, I would say, I like what I'm doing.
Retirement.
No, I like what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to take on
Yeah, I know
that
that.
responsibility. I will support the next person. And if you're in my rural caucus and you own it and you've done this, I'll be more than happy to support you.
Yeah.
And then if it goes to Manchester, I'm more than happy to who they bring forward. As long as they can answer that question, I'm willing to give up my job in 2 weeks and move on in and roll with it.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know,
It's just, you know, if a mayor's gonna work the job, he should be here at 7 o'clock
Yep.
in the morning. He should be here until the end of the last meeting,
Yep.
pretty well if it's a meeting he needs to be in,
and that's happening
every
right now.
day. And he's doing it now.
So,
I can't say it was being done that
that's
way.
it for a second. All right, so we're gonna strike this out. Is that all right with that?
Can we fix it on that one?
I've got that saved.
Okay.
2 week notice. Individual selected be appointed, re-elected from multiple years to county. That's in there. This policy advised to the county. Where's it at?
Oh.
Must have served a 4-year term. All right. Drop that out. As Coffee County Commissioner.
So we're just acknowledging that about the job. That if you take this, then you'll be expected to take the job full-time.
Pretty much.
And I would hope that each caucus would bring somebody forward that's been at least on capital outlay or budget and finance
Sure.
and been through and know about the money and stuff, because it took me 2 or 3 years, well, it took me 2 years on budget and finance to really see here and there. And bonds, especially with the bonds, about the calling of the bonds, because you can only pay a bond off when it's years called up. You can't go pay one off. There are
early.
certain times that you can pay one off, and that's why I asked last year about that. Can we pay one down? And Mariana said there was not one to be paid down because its call date had not come. So that. And like I can get little buses from federal, but I can't get big buses from federal.
Will the individual be given the opportunity on a leave of absence to do this? Or are you forcing
Well-
them to actually give up their job?
I think you need to be ready to quit your job because you don't know what's going to happen. It could be either incapacitated or a death.
Well, but you could serve temporarily until
You-
such
you-
time as you have an election
Anytime
or
they have-
until
yeah,
the
right now,
CLB's
the way it's set
appoints.
up right now, you're gonna serve temporary until that mayor's back
Yeah.
in the seat.
That's what I'm saying.
That's already set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have how
But
many
that
days?
could- that could be-
Well, but that person that
It's just
fills
depending
in,
on the circumstance.
Let's see, because Gary Cordell was out for, 2 months?
Yeah.
And he came back in the last day before he was
Supposed to be removed.
supposed to be removed. That's what you're talking about, is serving as a temporary.
no, I'm talking about the pro tem comes in and there's just temporary till there's another election or until the CLB appoints somebody. They wouldn't have to give up their job in that
But an
situation.
election would be 2 months out at least.
Yeah, a minimum
You can't
two.
call an election. If somebody were to move out and you move in, there won't be an election in 2 weeks. It'll be 3 to 4, 6 months or whenever it comes up on a rotation. And if it's early enough, then you can't qualify for that election, I'm thinking. So then it would pass on to the next election, and then you would have to be that further, because if something were to happen today and the election's the 31st or August the 1st, you would not be on the ballot.
You will not be there.
You would carry over. Now, you might carry over to the November, which is August, September, October, November, 4 months. And I don't see many Coffee County schools won't give me a leave of absence for 4 months.
Well, but that's you.
Yeah.
And somebody else might have something different.
Yeah.
And I think we need to hear from our CTAS representative and Andy for the election part of it. Because I can see the pro tem just serving for 3 months, 6 months before an election or an appointment. What is it, 120 days, 6 months that we have? I can't remember, but that's what I'm saying. Why don't we hear from our CTAS representative on this and see our options, and Andy with the elections? Because I think if we do something more than we need to do, if stuff's already in place, why are we encumbering this?
Well,
Because
we're-
the person,
so this
you're
is not
telling
in
this
place.
person,
There is nothing in place
Well, let me do
right now.
this. Let me do this. I make a motion that we move this to the September full board, because we're gonna have a meeting in August. We are. And we can modify this. But I'd like to have this on full county commission in September and let them look at it and see what they see too. They may send something back too. That will give us to August that Andy can look this up and tell us about.
well, this will have to go to the Legislative and Government Relations Committee.
I'd like for it to hit the floor and let's let everybody look at it and see. Because we spend too much time here, there, back there, and if we can get it forward and get this covered, at least this is important to me.
But
This
by
is-
procedure, it has got to go through the Legislative Committee.
Yeah, well,
before it
I'll
goes
send
to
it, I'll
CLE.
send it to you and to the full floor, and that way not even to vote on, but to talk about. Because a lot of people don't come to your meetings.
I understand,
Yeah.
but that's got to be approved through the Legislative Committee
Yeah.
before it goes to the CLB.
I understand that. Well, not before it goes there if it's not gonna be
Yes,
voted
before it
on.
goes there.
Not before it's voted on. We're not voting on it, we're just talking about it.
Yeah, you
No,
can talk
before it's
about
presented
that.
on there.
You're
Yeah,
just-
it's
you're
not
just-
gonna be a voted on.
It's not a voted item.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can send it on to the,
Just to
full
be
committee,
discussed.
just to discuss.
It's just for discussion. I'm not trying to circumvent you, I'm just trying to save time. Because what'll happen
But-
is it'll go to you, then it'll come back to us, then it'll go to the full commission in September,
October.
November.
No,
November.
if it comes
November.
to us and passes, then it goes to the it goes to the CLB. Only if we don't
Well, it
approve
won't
it and
get
send it
passed
back
though.
here.
It won't get passed because y'all gonna talk about this right here. That's what I'm saying is y'all probably gonna send this back because somebody won't like this. It's already been sent back once, right?
I'm assuming it has.
Okay, it's already been sent back. I just want them to look at it and tell us what you want us to do, all 19 of us, or 18 of us, 19 of us. Send it back, and then we can fix it and keep sending it.
I'm just reading you, the
Okay.
purpose and responsibilities of the Legislative Committee. Makes a stop in Legislative Committee before proceeding to a full vote of the County Commission.
I'm not asking for,
Not asking for a vote.
I'm asking for discussion. They won't vote on
You
this.
can discuss anything in full commission if it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
But you can't
I'm
vote
not
on
gonna
it.
vote on it.
Oh, we're not voting.
Uh-uh.
They're not voting on it. They're
It's
gonna
not going
discuss
as,
it, see if
it's
they,
not going as a
they're just gonna discuss it and
resolution.
see if they
I think you
agree
guys are
with it.
circumventing what's here. I think you guys are not
Then it's gotta
standing.
go back to y'all. That's all they're trying to do.
I'm not gonna bring it as a resolution.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and send it to you in August, your next meeting, or whenever your next meeting is, August. Okay? If you send it back here and you're good with it, then it'll hit the floor as a resolution.
If
it
we're good
doesn't-
with it, it'll go straight to the CLB. You don't
Yeah.
have to come back here.
Yeah, 'cause we don't have an August
Yeah.
meeting.
So,
Full
and if you're not with it, cause it's already been sent back once, cause I think a couple of them don't like it that you have to be able to resign or something. I can't remember what it was that one of them said to me. That
Yeah,
way
it
at
was that
least it's a
full-time.
floor.
There was a lot of discussion
Yeah,
about that.
well, and that's, yeah, but
We
it
want
didn't
their
get sent,
discussion
yeah.
though.
And that's why if it hit the floor out there, there is no resolution for it. There won't be a vote on it. It'll just be, look at this, tell us what you want us to fix. We won't, I feel like that it's very important that this is fixed and in place.
I think you're circumventing things. I
Okay.
don't think it goes to the CLB before it goes to the Legislative
Okay,
Committee. And
Well, I see
Legislative
that.
Well,
Committee
you're gonna
needs to
have it
approve it.
before it ever goes to
Yeah.
CLB.
What?
You're gonna have it before it ever goes to it.
Right.
So get done with it.
We will.
Okay.
So you want me to revise this, remove
Take that
this,
out.
and send it to legislative?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
When do y'all have your next meeting?
The Monday of the week before, what was it? I can't remember now. But we are having one it is in August. Well, I think it's the 29th. I think it's next week.
You have one 29th.
of August or July?
No, July.
Okay.
I think it's the 29th. I think it's next Monday.
If you can get that.
I'll have to go
done
back
by
and
then.
look.
I'll give it to him tomorrow.
I don't know, I don't know if I had that or not. I had it up. Just looking at it.
Cause then if you got issue with any of it, then you can send it right back to us.
Well, if we approve it,
If you approve it, it can go on
then it goes on to the CLB.
September, it goes on to the September.
Yeah, meeting.
because it won't ever hit anything in August.
Just make sure after you send it to the mayor's office that you check the agenda to make sure that it's on
On
the
there.
full commission agenda after it gets sent to the mayor's office.
Yeah,
If not, it just stops.
Sits there. Okay. So we're going to get that sent to the legislative committee and then we can address it after that. Okay, item C, approval of the revision of the Coffee County
yeah,
procedural.
just look that over.
You want to walk us through what all we did change?
On page 1 of the procedures there, the 10 and 11, those were confusing and overcomplicated. Well, they want to simplify that.
On order of business?
Yeah, on the, when we first talked about this, and so they wanted to change that when we were here last time. So I added page 1, everything you see page 1 talked about what we discussed in that meeting. In other words, we instead of going reports of standing committees and all those things, we simplified it to read there under unfinished business, to just read orderly presentation of new business to the county legislative body by committees, commissions, and other authorized presenters. In other words, all that would be presented, okay? That's unfinished business under number 10. Number 11 is just to say orderly presentation of new business, there. I'm sorry, back up. Under 10, that's page 1, section C, order of business, number 10, unfinished business. Remove the current lines A, B, and C underneath 10 and simply replace it with the words any unfinished business from past CLB meetings.
Okay.
That was the clarification we needed,
Okay.
okay? Just look at that. Because I think what we were seeing was both of these were doing almost the same thing or dueling up and
Yeah.
double dutying.
I see what you're saying.
And so under 10, it'll simply say orderly presentation of new business to the excuse me, I'm on the wrong line again. Any unfinished business from past CLB meetings. That's what unfinished business is.
Okay.
That's very simplification of that.
Do you have that
And-
on, do you have that change on yours? I don't have that on. Where's that list? Oh, is that
On the
on this
front
page?
page, yep,
That's on the front page.
Thank you.
because you're looking at an old agenda.
All right, fixed, gotcha.
I left the old one so we know what we're talking about.
Thank you. I'm with you.
Okay. Now, the next one, page 1, section C, under new
Okay, I'm
business.
good there.
Then we remove A and B, and we place under there orderly presentation of new business to the county legislative body by committees, commissions, and other authorized presenters. That makes that simple.
Okay, do they need to be in a order though? I mean,
Well, orderly, I just mean, we
Okay.
used to have them things like presented
yeah,
in alphabetical order. I don't remember exactly the order, but it could be alphabetical order or whatever, but just an orderly, I would just leave that up to the mayor's office for
Yeah.
the agenda. Not try to,
Yeah, because he just goes through the 6
Yeah.
of them right now in the ad hocs, but, so that's about it.
so,
Okay,
and that, I just said orderly, that's how they decide. And then, to insert under 11 where it says new business, to insert another 12, and then the other two, 12 and 13, will go on to be 13 and 14. But to insert under new business a 12, and it says reports, just like the other said, unfinished business and new business, then 12 would be reports. And then underneath the reports, 12, it says, reports on approved monthly minutes of meetings from all committees, commissions, and departments from Coffee County government. These reports are to be printed and included in the published agenda packet distributed to each commissioner and provided for the public for the meeting. We get that little agenda packet. That's what I call it. I don't know I haven't found an official name for that, but I just saw agenda packet. And that's kind of what we were talking about and discussing.
Okay. Yeah, because I want it to be the approved monthly minutes. That's the way it needs to be read.
And then Section E, this tells the committee about the reporting procedures. And we just changed the first sentence there. This is on page 7. Section E, reporting procedures. And then change that first sentence to read, the procedure for reporting the approved minutes for the committees, commissions, and departments from Coffee County government to the CLB shall be as follows. Okay? Everybody see that? And then under that, reporting procedures. The number 1, adding after the existing sentence. In other words, we're just adding this on, we're not changing that sentence. But after that first sentence, these approved minutes and reports are to be provided to the chairman of the CLB 5 working days before and printed in the agenda packet provided to the commissioners for the CLB meeting in which the reports are scheduled. In other words, we want these approved reports printed in our packet. Approved. Not draft, but approved. So that was one of the things we talked about, not putting the draft ones in there, but putting
Only
the
put the
ones.
approved ones in.
Right, only approved. And on page 8, one last place, just trying to be consistent all the way through, on page 8, section G, committee meeting minutes. And added after the last sentence. We're just adding something after the last sentence. It says approved minutes shall be prepared so as to be printed in the agenda packet distributed to the commissioners for their scheduled county legislative board meeting. And I'm hoping this kind of thing will also take care of where it's sliding between the committees and things like that, or doesn't get accomplished. That's just like I said, I went back and watched the video, and these are things we talked about, and I think I captured them, but that's why I wanted you guys to read it.
What about the, when we accept the agenda approving
When we approve the agenda,
with the approval of the agenda, all of the notaries are accepted? Because I like that.
Oh, where they're already accepted when we approve the agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's not gonna change that though, is it?
No, but does that need to be put in there, or is that just something?
well, if, that assumes all of them are approved. What if we have a commissioner who has an opposition to one of
Then
those?
he's gonna have to speak up before we approve the agenda.
Okay,
Got to.
but you've got to be alert and
Yeah.
watching what's
Not if you
going
know
on.
it's coming every time.
You should be able to see that though.
I
If
mean,
you
I know it's
pick
coming
up
every
mine, I
time
pick
now.
up my stuff
Yeah.
way before the meeting starts. And then whatever revisions made before that or after that, then I pretty well already know what's happening.
Well, so like I said,
That's why them caucus meetings are important. That nobody goes to.
there again, it gives us the opportunity to vote on them directly.
Yeah.
Okay, this goes to the full commission for voting on?
It goes to the legislative from here, and then goes to the COB.
Okay.
We have to approve this before and send it on to the
Right, yeah,
legislative committee.
we've got to approve, now, we approved this last week, but
You guys did, but
We- you guys
on
didn't give
basis
the
of us
wording for all-
proving it. On the basis of us proving it.
I make the motion, we approve it.
Well, I'm gonna second it. Any more discussion on it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we're gonna send this on to the legislative
Legislative,
committee.
and we'll
This
deal
is
with it.
item number 2 to go to them.
And then it'll be ready to rock and roll in September.
Yep, should be.
Okay.
So this is going to,
Back to
Back to
legislative,
legislative.
yes, this is what we're approving, to go to legislative committee so they can finalize, approve it, and then send it on
Send it
to
on.
the full commission.
Will we send just this amendment, or will we send the revised
I would
procedures?
send the revised procedures.
I would
Okay.
send it
Yes.
as a revised
Okay.
procedures,
Yes.
okay?
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for fixing this where we could understand a little bit more.
Government doesn't need unnecessary complications.
Do we have any other new business that we need to discuss? Do you know of anything else?
Well, probably next time, there is gonna be a change to the harassment policy. The ambulance authority has already made a recommendation, but this also will have to be a change. Before we change the whole harassment policy, EMS has already changed theirs to where any complaints, being handled, they had it where it was going to the ambulance authority. No longer, it's coming back to
HR.
personnel.
Okay.
And the comm center board, the 911 employees are worded the same way.
Okay.
So they're going to take that to their next meeting and discuss changing it back to
Come to you.
personnel also.
Does everybody like it, wanting that way?
Yeah.
I don't want it that way.
So,
Do you have enough time, honestly?
yeah,
Don't just say
I
yeah.
do.
I
Yeah.
still want her to have another
Do,
person.
do we need to run this
I mean,
by
we don't
our
have as
county
many-
attorney to make sure we're in line
Harassment.
with federal and state laws on this?
No, I mean, we are. I mean,
Okay.
it's been this way. This was changed back a few years ago. Not really sure why.
Okay, so these
But
are already standing.
This will
Yeah.
be the ambulance authority, then the comm center's gonna do theirs and bring us both the next
Because
time.
technically, all of these, the employees that work for these two entities are county employees. They are over the directors.
Okay,
hiring
so you
firm.
have to do the investigation yourself.
Yes, yes.
Is there a way to, I mean, just say you get hung out there and it takes 3 days of your time to do something. Is there a way for you to ask for help?
No, because there's really no one else. There's really no one to help me that could get involved with.
No, I'm not talking
Issues.
about a harassment policy.
Am I
Can you?
doing my job?
Yes.
No. No.
Okay. There's gotta be a pressure cooker valve for you.
That's the second person I kept telling you I wanted
Yeah,
her
oh,
to
I
have.
know. Cause I mean, I can see one taking 3 days.
Are you under the mayor's budget? Okay.
Yeah, I work for the mayor.
Okay.
Okay. But that'll come to us in August. Okay, if we have a meeting in August,
Yes.
cause you said we wouldn't.
We have one on.
Full commission.
No,
meeting,
full
we're not
commission
having-
does.
Oh, okay, I thought you.
We're having our meeting.
The
Okay,
comedians,
yeah,
yeah,
August.
committees
Okay.
are still meeting.
Yeah, we gotta still set that.
Okay.
Set that up. So I've got that on here as new business. We got any other new business we need to discuss in August? Not that, I mean, if you come up with something, we'll just have to,
Yeah.
just give me a call and I'll put it on. We're gonna discuss, election new officers, I guess, on that same meeting
Yeah, that'd be nice if we were all here.
in August. I think we can do that in August, since it's gonna be, what I have is August the 19th.
Okay.
Okay?
Anybody got issues with 19th? I don't know
Will
of any
be.
issue I
I
have
don't
yet.
think so.
No,
I don't think so.
we'll be rolling.
Okay.
I will have made it 3 weeks.
Into school.
Mhm.
All right.
That's pretty good.
August the 19th will be our next meeting at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And that's all I have on our agenda for the night. Is anybody got anything else?
Motion to adjourn. if
Motion's
nothing
been
else.
made to adjourn and has been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.